What's up, y'all? It is your boy Drake41, and welcome to the Let's Talk podcast. On this episode today, we're going to talk about, once again, the NWO and how Bullet Club is a better faction than the NWO. My co-host today is Ken Washington from a place that has been voted the most unattractive city in the United States.
I feel like I'm coming to Connecticut with a strap. You just keep on. You just keep on.
The most unattractive people are from Baltimore.
That ain't why we here, sir. I hate you so bad right now. Oh my God,
I love it.
I hope one of your survivors in State of Decay die.
The best one already did. It's fine. Oh my God. All right. So, like I was saying on this episode, I made a tweet, damn it, and I'm tired of people on Facebook sharing my tweet. Y'all gonna cut this out.
Yeah.
I said
your ass went viral.
And I swear it wasn't. I swore up and down I felt like it wasn't a hot take. I swore up and down it wasn't. And for whatever reason, people got in their feelings. Like I done said, their mother should die of an overdose. Their father should get sodomized. Like, I didn't even say all that. I literally said, Bullet Club is a better faction than the NWO was. That's it. Now, I have no issue with saying, okay, let me back it up with facts or worked facts based on how the factions were utilized by the company that created them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, people could say what they want. All right. But and before we even go there, how do you feel? Where are you at within that crazy tweet that I made?
So I watched. I watched Bash at the Beach. I believe it was where Hogan came out and turned on Macho Man, and that was a huge moment to form the NWO and their run through WCW. But I've also watched the Bullet Club since the beginning, well, that I can remember of them. And yeah, no, they've produced, I'm on the side of the Bullet Club was a better faction than the NWO in its entirety.
Okay. So initially, before I even tweeted it, I'm saying to myself, I'm just thinking about it because I'm updating some of my creative wrestlers, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying to myself, like, damn, Bullet Club had a lot of great members. And then I say to myself, well, damn, because I'm playing WWE 2K22, and I'm like, okay, the DLC. And then I say to myself, damn, as far as like NWO members go, WWE, majority of the time, only gives us the top three. Hogan, Paul, and Nash. You know, finally they put Eric Bischoff. Finally, well, down they already had X-Pac in there before. But it's like, besides those three guys, the initial members, most people don't look at the NWO overall faction as top guys or guys who weren't just utilized as cannon fodder or like, you know, for guys to run through to get to Hogan, to get to Hall, to get to Nash.
But you also have to look at, like, all right, so you had the NWO, and I know that you don't really want to add the Wolfpack, but you had the defection of Nash to the Wolfpack, so there goes some of your star power to a group of 4 or 5 people. Whenever, I think when Sting got there was 5, and then Disco Inferno made like 6, but still, it was like 1 million people in the NWO. But it only like they were all there to concentrate on 2-3 people.
Right. And
like with Bullet Club, even like now, if I'm not mistaken, Chase Owens is one half of the tag champs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many of Bullet Club have held championships? Running between all the promotions they went through, from ROH to New Japan, AEW even. Hell, WWE, if you include AJ, Finn Balor. I mean, they just the Bullet Club has been everywhere with all the championships. WWE or WCW, NWO. You had Hall, Nash, Terry Bollea, because I can't keep calling him by his maybe Scott Steiner. Like I'm trying to think of who else maybe had a title. I'm even trying to include
go on Wikipedia. Go on Wikipedia. We could I mean let's pull up, you know. I'm on Pro Wrestling Wiki. So I'm already looking at Bullet Club. I'm looking at Bullet Club. I'm trying to see how many championships they won. Like, I want to see the stats, because this is just like, for me, I don't want it to be a situation where it's like people are saying to themselves, "Oh, well, this or that." Like, no, bro.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like the same way. If you listen to the Switchblade promo, like when he was talking about being the catalyst for basically aid,
he wasn't. The Bullet Club was.
I know it was, but you know, he was there during the time and the transition of Kenny leaving and the Young Bucks leaving and Adam Page leaving. But when you look, like, the Bullet Club he was right in, as the Bullet Club essentially came over here and made their own damn company. Like, all the EVPs were former Bullet Club members.
And don't get me wrong. Now, before we preference this, people are going to sit there and say, "Oh, well, you're only going to talk about a certain grouping within the Bullet Club." I'm not doing this. We're going to compare members to members, because I said Bullet Club had more star power. And I still feel that way, and I'm going to hold on to that. That's not something I'm going to run away from. Like, that's how I feel.
And for me, I'm not basing that off, because I really honestly only about a couple months ago figured out who Dave Meltzer actually was. Like, I had heard his name a lot, but I never did get his star rating, so I never really looked into him. I'm just being honest.
That is wild.
I mean, I knew who he was, but I didn't know that, like, people took his word as like wrestling gospel. You know what I mean? So I just really didn't, like, when he gives out his star ratings or whatever.
But that's what he's been doing.
I know, but I didn't really look into him until a couple months ago, just being honest. Because I wanted to look at it for myself when it came to matches. And I feel like that gives me a difference. Because some people might be like, well, he gave this match for these people these many stars. Well, I watched that match. I didn't think it was that good. But when I look at matches between, like, I'm going to compare leaders at this point. Kenny Omega put out banger behind banger with Okada. I mean, I stayed up late as hell at night to watch it.
Yeah.
Just to make, because I wanted to see, like, that 60-minute match, the way they protected him from an actual finishing move, not a god blessed leg drop.
Okay.
No, that was a little biased. I got you. But like, leader wise, you have AJ still putting out bangers. You got, I can't really count Cody because I don't think he was a leader.
He was never a leader.
Right. So you got Finn Balor. He was, I mean, if they would let him, he would still put out.
He was the original leader.
Right, but he would still be putting out some. I mean, when he gets to wrestle, he still puts out banger matches, IWGP championships. It's
juniors.
He was only the junior?
He wasn't the IWGP heavyweight champion. He never won that.
No, that was AJ. I'm thinking of AJ. So AJ, Kenny Omega, Jay White at this point. So 3 of the 4 leaders I just named have all climbed to the top at least once of New Japan. Kenny Omega has been AEW World Champion. AJ Styles is multiple time WWE champion.
And so hold on. This is now let's stick it to where it's just within their careers within the Bullet Club. Let's not use WWE. Let's because I want to make it to where it's a specific time and it's only within the time that they're in Bullet Club, and the same thing with the NWO. All right, so I already got the stats up, and there's been a lot of members of Bullet Club. So
yeah, there has.
Some people will know
a lot
these
of
names,
notable names.
Won't. Yeah. So in CMLL, Tama Tonga won the CMLL Tag Team Championships twice, right? One time with Terrible and Bucanero. Then
that was
the
before
global
his brother, right?
Huh? Yeah, that was before his brother.
Okay.
Then we have Amber O'Neal, who was with Doc Gallows at the time. She won the Global Championship Wrestling Women's Championship. All right, so that's already 3 championships that they won. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship, you already said that one, Styles, Omega, Jay White, that's 6. Then we have the Intercontinental. That was 2 times. So now we got Fale and Omega. No, Fale, Omega, and Jay White. So that's 3 times. So now we're at 9 championships. The Junior, 5 times. So we're at 14. That's Devitt, Omega, Marty, and Ishimori.
Yeah.
Right? So we're at 14. Then we have 7 additional ones. With those 7, we're already at 21. So this is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Championship.
Oh, okay.
The Bucks and El Phantasmo and Ishimori.
Yep.
Right? So now we're at, what I said, 24?
21.
21, sorry. Now we're at 27 Tag Team Championships. Gallows Anderson, Tama Tonga, and the G.O.D. Damn it. All right, so now what, 27?
Tango Loa. Wait, because Tama Tonga and Tango Loa have had the title 7 times themselves.
They were 7-time champions?
Yeah.
You sure?
Positive.
It says 3 times. Never Openweight Championship twice. Yujiro Takahashi and Kenta. Best of juniors is not a real championship. Never Openweight 6-man tag. That was 5 times.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Wikipedia. 7-time IWGP Tag Team Champions.
Oh, wait a minute. They weren't in the Bullet Club for some of them, I think. They're not in Bullet Club now.
Tama Tonga was an original member, though.
Okay, well then we'll add that. That's fine. We'll add that.
I'm looking at it because 7-time tag team champion since 2019 with Tango Loa.
So maybe messed up. But okay. But
that's 7 extra, that's 7 titles between them before you even get to Gallows and Anderson.
Right. And so I mean it's clear enough to say that the faction overall was utilized better than the Bullet Club was. Can you? I mean, is that something that you can agree with? Do you think that's a true statement?
Yeah, because I mean, they really found a place for everybody to work. Like you didn't just have somebody out there because they had a look just to be, I guess, shoulder candy to whomever the biggest member of the NWO was. They were all there to work. Like. Right. The Young Bucks tag titles, G.O.D. tag titles, Gallows and Anderson was the mouthpiece for a while, but they still had him in a spot where he could hold gold with the tag team, and they made it work. Think
about it, right? Like, how many members of NWO were literally just utilized as henchmen? I mean, you got the Disciple, who was just
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. For y'all that didn't know, that's who the Disciple
Booty
was.
Man, Zodiac. All right, come on. His name was Booty Man. He went to WCW and they was like, "Oh, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, cool. You best friends with Hogan, cool. Your name Booty Man.
Yeah,
go out there, act stupid."
Going out there and do what you do. Yeah.
All right. So we got the Disciple, Vincent. We got Bubba, Big Bubba, also known as Big Boss Man. He was a jobber.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah,
Come
he
on.
was. No, I wasn't.
No, I mean, I'm just saying people who, who else was jobbers? Shoot. The fake Sting. The fake Sting was a jobber, right? They didn't do nothing with him. He was just cannon fodder. Shoot, it was a ton of people that did. And then not only that, right? They made people join NWO by jumping them in. And it wasn't even like they were top stars. Like they had
it wasn't
IRS, like Wall Street. Like, bruh, who can, like, I get it. Hall of Famer, great. Is he? I don't know. It doesn't even matter. But
they gave him the ring. It means something to somebody.
Like IRS was in NWO. What did they do with him?
Rick Rude was in there as a manager, wasn't he?
He couldn't wrestle.
He couldn't even wrestle at the time.
Yeah. So it's just like they grabbed a bunch of people and did literally nothing with them.
Yeah. It was just it was for the sight of them taking over
do
WCW.
You have the members list up?
For which one?
NWO.
I can get it.
Hold on. What we're going to do is we're going to say either if they're jobbers or usable talent. So hold on. NWO members. We're going to use Wikipedia. That's what we're going to use. I want to make sure we're using the same thing.
If it'll pull them up. List of NWO members. There we go. Yeah, so Wikipedia.
Okay. Jesus Christ, they had a lot. Okay. So WCW.
Bruh.
All right.
Yo,
cool. All right. So hold on.
All right. So I hate this already.
Okay. So here we go. This is WCW. And I want to come to an agreement with you. How many top guys compared to jobbers? Are you able to take down how many top guys to jobbers?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, I got to know when you're ready up for this nonsense right here.
Let me know when you're ready.
Ready to go.
All right, cool. So let's start with Scott Hall. Jobber or top guy? We could say mid-carder too.
For Scotty, I think he was a top guy.
Okay.
As far as NWO goes.
Cool. Kevin Nash.
He was a top guy.
Cool.
Because they made him. Never mind.
All right. Hot dog skin. We already know who we talk about. Hollywood.
Unfortunately, he was a top guy.
Cool. Ted DiBiase.
Hey, why was he even in there? This is jobber status for NWO.
Yes, jobber status. They didn't do the Giant.
I didn't actually get it when they brought him in there, but he became he was more of a mid-carder after he like went to the NWO.
Dog. He joined NWO September 2nd of 96 and was out December 30th of 96.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mid-card guy?
Yeah, he was a mid-card.
Mid-card. NWO Sting, jobber.
Yeah, absolutely.
6. Mid
at best.
Mid. Okay. Vincent, job. Miss Elizabeth.
I mean, she never wrestled, but her spot was a weird one. I'd actually probably put her in mid.
Mid. All right, now this one I barely remember because once again, it got to a certain point in the early goings of NWO where they were just like grabbing people and kicking them out. They had the Nasty Boys.
Yeah, they were only in there. I remember them. They were only in there for a cup of coffee. They're jobs.
Both of them. Bischoff, mid, I guess.
Sure, because he was on TV a lot. That's about it.
This guy is my homie, but I'm gonna be honest.
Mid.
Buff Bagwell, mid.
Yeah.
All right. Michael Wall Street, jobber.
You skipped over Nick Patrick.
Hold on. I'm still going through the list. We must be on a different list, but it's still Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
All right. Big Bubba Rogers. Jobber. They did nothing with him.
Absolutely
Jobber.
nothing.
Scott Norton. That's my guy. He made waves in New Japan.
He's a mid that should have been way higher in the NWO.
Masahiro Chono. A legend in Japan.
Legend.
And WCW, mid.
And that's probably being nice.
I'm not even going to say Yuji Nagata because it was a one-time use, so it doesn't matter. Randy Savage. Top guy.
Yeah. But he had to go to Wolfpack to get the world title, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. The Great Muta. Legend.
Your favorite.
WCW, mid. All right. Hiroshi Tenzan, legend. And WCW, mid. Conan, mid. He shouted me out on his podcast. WCW, NWO, you were mid. Kurt Henning, mid. It's just a fact.
No, I'm trying to think of what the fuck he did when he was in. Yo, he ain't do nothing. You right?
Did he win the U.S. title? Maybe. Still mid.
Yeah, I think he did. Wow. Yeah.
Rick Rude, mid.
Rick Rude couldn't even wrestle. He was just there.
So you gotta be mid. You can't be like. It's not
I was gonna put him as a jobber, but okay. Because he was just there. I don't even remember him saying much. I just remember him being there with that epic mustache.
Right. Louis Spicoli, he was only a valet to Scott Hall, and he was only there for a month before he passed away.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, Louis Spicoli. But I have to say, NWO-wise, you were a jobber.
Yep.
Dusty Rhodes. You're a legend.
My poor soul.
You were mid. Brian Adams.
He didn't do anything yet in the NWO.
And not even only that.
Yeah, because he didn't. The whole chronic thing didn't come until after he left the NWO. It was after. Yeah.
So even within NWO, when they split, he decided to stay with NWO Black and White. They were mid when that happened.
I wouldn't even have given him the mid when he was with NWO Black and White. I can't think of anything.
He was a jobber.
Yeah, so that's where I'm putting him.
That's when Stevie Ray was the leader, the leader, quote unquote. Mid. Scott Steiner. He was mid.
A top guy, but he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
I said he should have been.
After.
Right, he should have been,
okay.
But he was not.
He was mid. Based on how they used him, mid. The Disciple, we're not going to talk about, he's a jobber. Yeah. Nick Patrick. He was a ref, he was a jobber, it doesn't even matter. Okay, so that was the base NWO roster.
Oh, you forgot Horace.
Who? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know where he belongs. I already put him down there, so we ain't got to worry about that.
Oh my God! Even him being related to Hot Dog Skin couldn't help him. Couldn't help him the least. You could have said that was his biological son, and it wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have helped him at all. Okay, we're not even gonna sit there and play with that one, right?
Yeah, I already put him down. I just want to make sure you didn't forget him off the list.
No, I did. Some of them don't even deserve it. Never mind. So, right?
Yeah, so like David Flair, rest his soul, he need to be down there with the jobbers. I don't even remember him.
I wouldn't even qualify him in there, honestly. This is why I didn't go into like Jeff Jarrett, Bret Hart. Like I'm not saying their names. Like I don't even qualify that as the same NWO. It's not.
It's not.
Like now Bullet
Oh, I
Club,
see what
right?
you were I see what you were looking at. You were looking. I was looking at the whole timeline members. You were just
Yeah,
looking at
I'm looking at
Gotcha.
initial, right? Because I mean, you go into the, I just did
Well,
there's a
Horace should
reason
have been
why.
in there
Who?
from. Horace should have been in there until the '98, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so for Bullet Club, right? Bad Luck Fale. He has won multiple championships. Now, he's also challenged for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, if my memory serves me correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Upper mid. I'm
For
not going to
bad
say
luck?
top guy, but mid. But let's put him mid.
Yeah.
Chase Owens, even though he's won championships,
Be nice. Be nice, because I've met him.
he can't. He
What?
can't be mid. He
Why?
can't be mid. He's jobber.
Yo, for all the titles that they put on him, and
God,
he's a
okay,
jobber?
he's mid. He's mid. All right.
Like the IWGP US title. Like, I don't think they would put that on. Hey, maybe I'm biased, but I think he's a mid.
All right, hold on. Let me see how I go with this.
Bullet.
Because so all right, so they have these members remain based in Japan. Oh, okay, based in Japan with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So these is current. Okay, so there's been 6 leaders. Jesus.
I thought you knew that, sir.
Yujiro Takahashi, Taji Ishimori, Sho, Gato, Evil. Evil wasn't even there that long. It's still a Bullet Club.
Yeah, he's still with Bullet Club, but I never considered him a leader.
And he was champion too.
Yeah, they strapped the belt on him.
He was IWGP. Damn, they made so. All right.
They strapped, when they were before they unified the title and made that ugly ass title they got now.
Yeah, Evil was champion.
Evil was
Dick
world
Togo. I forgot about him. Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Doc Gallows, Hikuleo, El Phantasmo, Jay White, Juice Robinson, Carl Anderson. I mean, those are top guys. Well, not Ace Austin and Chris Bay. They're mid. Doc Gallows, top. Hikuleo, mid. I'll do mid. El Phantasmo, people know him. He'll be mid. Jay White, top guy.
Yeah.
Juice, top guy. Carl Anderson, top guy. Adam Cole, top guy. Hangman Adam Page, top guy. AJ Styles, top guy. Cody Rhodes, top guy. Cody Hall, mid.
Yeah, at best.
At best, he's mid. Frankie Kazarian wasn't real. That wasn't real. El Terrible or El Terrible, whatever. Mid. Jado, he's been there. So Jeff Jarrett's not real. I don't consider him an actual member. Kenny Omega, top guy. Marty Scurll, top guy. Matt and Nick Jackson, top guys. Prince Devitt, top guys. Ray Bucanero, Robbie Eagles,
Robbie
Tamatonga, top guy.
Robbie Eagles could probably go down there in that job.
Yeah. Tangalao, top guy, because he's tag team 7-time. You're not a jobber 7-time tag team champion.
No.
All right. Then we even got their managers or part-timers. Amber Gallows. She was able to win a championship. Brandy Rhodes. I don't know who Mao is. I don't know who the hell that is. Mephisto. Who's Mephisto? Oh, this is a Mexican wrestler. I guess. King Haku. Legend. Tokyo Latina. I can risk it. Stephen Amell. Oh, Stephen Amell. Well, let's put Dennis Rodman top guy too. Dennis Rodman top guy NWO. Because Stephen Amell's top guy.
Yeah, I'll go with that because he did bring a lot of eyes to the NWO. Did one Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Scott Norton mid because I put him mid in NWO, so he's mid in Bullet Club. It's fine. So look at
Fuck, I
that.
forgot that he was even in Bullet Club.
For a quick second. It wasn't like some.
Yeah, he wasn't there for a long
quick
period of
second.
time.
So even with those names, right? You can see that Bullet Club literally had better members or better utilized members than the NWO. I think the issue is that people hold on to the top three and consider them untouchable. And I get that.
I don't.
I can understand it because you're looking at it from nostalgia.
And
then people say
you've done enough with me at this point. You know I'm a big fan of nostalgia, but I can't. I'm looking at, we just counted the championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So out of all those people that we did for the NWO, the mids and the jobbers, aside from the top guys, the only one we could name that won a US title was Kurt Henning.
And let's preface this by saying there were some people in the NWO we didn't name. There were some people in the Bullet Club we didn't name. But still, if we didn't name them, clearly they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough. And as far as championships go, right, you could sit there and say, well, NWO, you know what I'm saying, like, they won championships, but it was only the top guys. Everybody else,
like the outsiders were winning tag titles, but then you turn around and Kevin Nash was dropping the tag title to win the world title. Hogan was out here winning world
He only won
title.
the world title.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to go after nothing else.
He wasn't getting nothing else. And then
look, like the way I see it is, as far as how the companies utilized each faction, I don't, besides protecting the top three in WCW, NWO was utilized horribly. Horribly. Were they in like great storylines at times? Yes. Who could forget DDP?
I was about to say, it depended on who they were going to get. Yeah.
Or bringing in Rodman. Or you know what I'm saying? Or having a horrible match with
that
Jay
was
Leno.
But that was still DDP because DDP had Karl Malone.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they had little instances where they actually utilized the NWO properly to build more eyes on the product.
But they never did it to build stars. There was no star building.
Never.
And you had top guys from other promotions come there to be absolutely mid and or jobbers. Perfect.
And then not only that, right? And people say, oh, well, NWO changed the business. Right. They changed it to where you can get guaranteed contracts. But here's the flip side to it. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan had within their contract favored nations. So if anybody came in who made more than them, guess who contracts would get bumped up?
The top guys.
Once again, it wasn't for the benefit of the boys or the business. It was in benefit to themselves initially. Everybody else just gained off of it because they understood, oh, wait a minute, we can get guaranteed contracts.
And there's nobody on this planet that can tell me that they believe that Cody Rhodes could be a top guy before he left wearing a God bless his star suit.
Yo,
and went
that
to
was the illest thing when people said that online. It was like, yo, Cody Rhodes was already a top guy before he got to the Bullet Club. Beg your pardon. Where?
He was tag teaming with Goldust named Stardust.
Where was he a top guy before?
The only thing that slapped was his music.
Yo,
like that Stardust, I ain't gonna lie, that Stardust music was my ringtone for a clip because I don't know. I actually
you on the island by yourself.
Hey, I'll be out there. I'm from Baltimore. I'm used to it.
That's your island, definitely. I'll say this, right? Like his star power shot up immensely after joining Bullet Club. Where he was at before and during and after are light years apart. Cody Rhodes would not, here's my opinion, Cody Rhodes would have not ever reached the star power that he has at this point in time without joining Bullet Club. Bullet Club gave him the edge that Cody Rhodes did not have.
Yep.
That dumbass, nasty ass tattoo on his neck was because of him being in Bullet Club. That skull, that was because of Bullet Club. That wasn't something that he had beforehand as a logo. No.
Yeah, like when he went back to WWE, he was able to negotiate on his terms because of the star power that he made while he was with Bullet Club.
Facts. That those contracts, them WWE trying to sign the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, and Cody Rhodes was because of what they did in Bullet Club.
And they all admitted it. Yeah, we talked to WWE because they were trying to grab us up off the market. Now, why do you think that is? The same reason they tried to grab, or the same reason they grabbed Gallows and Anderson, because they had been over in New Japan
and Finn Balor
Club, and they were like, "Yep, let's go get some of this money." Finn Balor, AJ Styles wasn't even on their radar
until after
the Bullet Club.
Now, let's parlay that to the members of NWO, right? After you leave NWO disbanded, whatever. Let's say after the purchase of WCW. Who was the guys at NWO that was like, yo, let's band together and make a company? Let's do this. Let's do something.
All they did was the NWO showed back up. But hey, guess who it was? The top 3 guys.
Which goes to show what? That's all that really mattered in the business. It wasn't the fact. It wasn't the collective. It was these guys, the originators. These are the only guys who were credible. Why? Because they were the only ones who were booked well enough to be that credible talent. When you grab the Bullet Club, you're like, oh, I can grab this person, I can grab that person, I can do something with this person. Yeah. You have a plethora of talent that you can utilize within any company.
Absolutely.
You sit there and you pull NWO members, you're like, well,
let me go make the Disciple a world champion.
Like, yo, and people wouldn't believe it. And then it was like there was no new young talent, no up and coming talent, nothing. Like you saw the build. You saw Kenny Omega go from cleaning out the juniors, making it to the heavyweight division. Same thing with Jay White. You could see the climb.
You mean where he got the nickname the Cleaner?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't see that in NWO. It was literally top guys join top guys. That's where we're at.
And
no one surpassed.
You know what? I've had this argument with some friends of mine over on the blue app that I keep getting suspended from, which is Facebook. That's why I don't go over there often anymore. But okay, so you had Curt Hennig join the New World Order. Mm-hmm. Now, Curt Hennig is one of those people that unanimously, I am a huge fan of Curt Hennig, and people will say he's one of the best to have never won the world title. Mm-hmm. Now, why is it that he went over to WCW and put on an NWO black and white shirt and they didn't put a world title on him?
Because once again, who is he going to have to surpass to do that? And are they going to accept it?
Absolutely. They wouldn't have accepted it at all.
The booking of the NWO, and this is not a hot take. I don't even want it. Like, yo, the booking of NWO and WCW was buns. The only thing that they actually did that was worth any of notoriety was that they were able to help the wrestlers in professional wrestling get guaranteed contracts. Yeah. Overall, within the 3 or 4 years that the base NWO was around in this business, that I've seen as a fan, kayfabe, they really didn't do much. They got Hogan, they kept him at the top. They kept Nash at the top. Everybody else was peripheral, and it did not matter.
It really did.
If we're talking strictly kayfabe, what you've seen on TV, the NWO was to keep the top 3 guys protected and everybody else where they were.
And even if you look at the stories of the reincarnations of the NWO, it was trash, but it was always to protect. Like Nash was in that weak one, that silver and black one with Jeff Jarrett, and he was still protected as the top of the NWO. Like in no reincarnation. In Impact Wrestling, when they put together the Click or whatever the fuck it was, hey, guess what that was? That was a ripoff of the NWO to protect the top people, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and at this point, Six or X-Pac or whatever you wanted to call them at that particular point. It was still just to protect the top people for that particular version of the NWO.
And let me say this too. We're not going to sit there and pretend like there's not a hierarchy within the Bullet Club. Like they're not going to like make sure that the leader gets the championship and keeps it.
That's true.
But the other members also get their shine.
Yeah, they also.
Because what's the point of a faction to be considered dangerous if all of them get their ass whooped all the time?
Like when one of your mids, and I'm speaking specifically on Chase Owens here, like when one of your mids is holding the third top prize in the company, and he's the one that took pins for a minute in tag matches, multiple tag matches, but they still put the third top prize in New Japan on him. Why is that? Everybody got to eat. But it's Bullet Club. We need everybody to eat to keep the heat on the Bullet Club.
That's facts. That's fact. And it's just like, you got to think, what mid-carder was in NWO who was shaking things up?
None. I was hoping for Kurt Hennig. I ain't gonna lie.
Nobody.
I was hoping, but no.
Think of it, as many WWE Hall of Famers that the NWO has in their rankings, within that time that they were in NWO, they didn't accomplish nothing.
But when they left the NWO, some of them were able to make much better.
Yes.
We were talking about Brian Adams when he formed Chronic.
Yep.
That tag team is something that, hey, let's put that in NWO and let's strap a rocket to that.
Yo, Scott Steiner, he was world champion after the NWO.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like within that time frame of don't get me wrong, and being within NWO was a good look. It got more eyes on you, but within your time in there, you didn't really climb the ladder. There was no ladder to climb. Now, did
some of the best
make
matches,
wrestlers? They made, I want to say DDP, but DDP was kind of established at that time. Goldberg.
Well, DDP rose in a storyline that didn't have anything to do with the NWO. That's match true. That got cut off TV for the world title against Goldberg, that's still one of my favorite matches to go back and watch. And you know that I'm a DDP aficionado.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like people look at it through rose-tinted glasses and they say to themselves, NWO was legendary. They changed the business. If it wasn't for NWO, there would be no Bullet Club. Okay. Does that mean that there's never would be a faction better?
Right. That doesn't mean that Bullet Club can't surpass them just because they made them.
Exactly. Like don't make these positions to where they're created and no one can surpass them, because without the Four Horsemen, there would be no factions in general.
Yeah.
In American wrestling.
Yeah.
That could be successful.
The Four Horsemen had legendary feuds with Dusty Rhodes.
Hell.
So you could point that as something, because when the NWO was feuding hard with DDP, that could be a homage back to the Four Horsemen going after Dusty Rhodes every chance.
Or going against the Von Erichs.
Yeah. Oh boy. You
can't sit there and pretend like NWO was the first like faction ever. No. They built off of what was made before them.
Now, did Eric Bischoff strike gold when he decided to
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. He struck gold.
But the execution
and longevity.
There's no longevity within NWO. Bullet Club is touching 10 years.
Yeah, they're touching a whole decade of being together.
And it wasn't like they broke them up and did some nonsensical storyline where the leader fought with this guy and woo 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 and woo whoop, and there was no Bullet Club. No, they had their ups and downs, absolutely, as they should, because that makes sense within a storyline. But they always have been since inception. They are there, and that's more credit to New Japan having the mindset to understand. Hey, let's keep what we got going. They're not going to be great forever, but we're going to treat them well or utilize them well enough to where they remain relevant. NWO's dead.
I also don't think, and maybe I think I told you this before, but I also think the time had something to do with it too, because New Japan was not nearly as global of a thing when WCW was roaming about. I mean, people
it wasn't
knew
easily accessible.
There you go. That's what I probably.
And that was based on technology, which is understandable.
Right.
And we live in a world where we can obtain information like that. So yes, it's a different time, but still,
yeah.
Think about this though, right? In a world where, and we're talking about the 90s, where information wasn't so accessible, you had way more people watching wrestling. 9 million people watched wrestling back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Wrestling was super hot. And why was it? There was no internet, and we didn't have as many choices of what we can watch, right? Yeah. So now you're basing it on, okay, you had this red hot faction in a time where more people was watching professional wrestling than ever before, and it didn't succeed.
That is true.
It failed. Think about that. There was a time where 9 million people watched, and NWO, as the leading faction for a company, failed. As opposed to this other company that's in a promotion predominantly Japanese that has thrived for 10 years. NWO couldn't even do that for half the time.
Nah,
in a time where, 3 times, 7 times, 8 times more people watch the product?
Yeah.
Because what numbers Raw touching? Maybe 2. SmackDown, maybe 2.
Maybe.
But somehow, NWO, that was touching 9 million eyes, couldn't succeed. Based upon how they were being utilized by the company that created them. But for whatever reason, Bullet Club's not better. This is
even if you don't like some of the wrestlers that came out of Bullet Club, that's fair. But you still have to respect what they've done.
Facts. And it's not like I'm saying Bullet Club NWO didn't do anything. I just want anybody who feels the opposite way, come on here and please explain. Help me. I'm not taking, once again, I don't want to make people feel like I'm taking anything away. I'm not. I have nothing to gain from taking anything away. I'm just stating what it is.
Yeah.
What it is that, number one, they weren't utilized properly. Do they have legends within that faction? Yes, but they didn't use them right. They didn't build nobody. They didn't do nothing with it. It was literally a protection for the top guys, and that's it, as opposed to a faction that was actually utilized to make stars. If you got something that hot, I'm running all the young boys through that to get them.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to build.
By the time WCW tried that with the new blood, it was too late.
It was too late.
It was
they didn't
way
care.
Too late.
They didn't have the foresight to say, yo, we got something red hot. Let's build some young guys through it so we can build, because Hogan not going to be wrestling 20 years from now. Nash ain't going to be wrestling 20 years from now. Hall's not going to be wrestling 20 years from now. Let's use the NWO to build this talent up so we can continue this and make this a faction that's worth.
Because ain't nobody know Generation Me, aka the Young Bucks, and I'm an Impact fan, but ain't nobody really know them when they was in Impact. Mm-hmm. When the Bullet Club took off.
Matt Buck and Nick Buck. Nobody remembers them. Oh yeah, we don't remember when their last names were Buck, huh?
Yeah. Jesus.
But let's sit there and say Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, God bless them, legends. But when compare
Nash's
Scott Hall and Kevin,
legends.
compare the outsiders in NWO to the Young Bucks in the Bullet Club, and who was more successful?
Even God.
I mean,
Gallows and Anderson.
Like,
and that's enough. You got multiple tag teams running around just collecting championships for fun. All you had in NWO really was one. No, I'm sorry. I think. Well, no, that's counting Wolfpack, because then you had to say Sting and Luger. I think they won the tag title, but that was for like a cup of coffee. That wasn't for long.
I just see it as people are looking through this with rose-tinted glasses, and I get it. And then people will say, "Oh, well, you must be young." No, I'm not young. I was watching it. I was there.
Well, no, they're not seeing my beard, but my beard tells you I ain't young.
Like, come on now.
37 today. Well, when this is recorded. God almighty, my old ass.
Listen, I'm not that far from behind you. So it's just like, I don't get how. No, I do get it. I do understand it. You're looking at it through rose-tinted glasses, and I get it. But you also have to come to the conclusion that you compare the two and how they were being utilized. Bullet Club as a faction is better than the NWO as a faction. All right? Even if you compare, like, let's take out the names of the wrestlers and just look at the accomplishments that wrestler X compared to wrestler Y. You would say, damn, hold on.
Or just comparing the faction itself. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, take out the names and just compare the members of the faction to X and Y. Yeah. You'll say, damn, faction X is they actually did some stuff. But I don't want to go on too much longer. I'm gonna hold it there. Any parting words, Mr. Washington?
I'm doing a count right quick. So there were 13 jobbers out of the original NWO. And 13 that we considered mid-carders out of the NWO. So out of the original 30 members, 26 were mid or jobbers, which means they did absolutely nothing, except for the one U.S. title win by Kurt Henning, which I can't even remember. I remember him having the title, but I don't remember him winning it or how long he had it. And I'm a huge fan.
And he was a faction jumper.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Like, Kurt Henning in WCW was a faction jumper. NWO, the Four Horsemen, sort of. The West Texas Rednecks.
Oh, my God. That was my favorite faction he was in, even though I hated the whole gimmick.
Like, so come on now. Like, my parting words is this. If you feel like you have an argument, hit me up on Twitter and we'll make a video.
Bang my line.
and we will figure this out. If you can convince me that what we're saying here is incorrect, do it. Don't put it in the comment section. Hit me up on Twitter and let's make this happen. If you really about it. Change my mind. Change our mind.
You got some work to do too.
Other than that, y'all stay safe. That's for my homie Ken Washington. Y'all, I don't even have nothing else to say. Y'all stay safe. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video later.
Later.